Welcome back to Who's You Talking To with me, Jeff and Tony. Right, Tony, I'm going to blow some. So now, right, you're an instructor, and that's from Israel, by the way. You got your black belt, 2 degree, not that you want to show off, because that's not the way, is it?
No, it isn't. I mean, it's a certificate is a certificate. A black belt is a black belt. But it's who you are, or you're training, or you're trying to be someone in the world that is worthy of it. Because at the end of the day, it only holds your pants up, doesn't it?
So then, man of wisdom. So you've set up a gym, right, which is here, the dojo.
Yeah.
There'll be pictures on below of all what's going on. So on a regular class, how many people come in here?
It's a small club. You know, it's just not a massive area, and we average out 10, 15 people. I don't really want to kind of have more than that in this area because too many people start having accidents, people banging into each other, tripping up and that. So,
you imagine, yeah.
So I average like 10 to 15 people.
And I mean, the benefits, because people come out to the gym and give you all the kind of saying about they're not stressed, it gets rid of it. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, any kind of physical activity, generally you feel better after it. And it's literally peeling yourself off the couch and getting into a routine to train and get around people, like wholesome people, develop yourself, develop your skills, and it literally is an hour or so out of your time, once a week, twice a week. I mean, I have some people train 3 or 4 times a week. You can't get enough of it.
Got you.
This is good for you.
Well, on that as well, is there anyone that's ever come and said, you know what, I got a tack down such and such, and I use this technique? Is any?
Well, yeah. You actually found out about me from a taxi driver, Alan.
Yeah.
And Alan's used Krav Maga a number of times in his profession, and he's used it to great effect. I've had another club member who is the nicest guy you could ever find. He's actually a university lecturer or professor, and he got attacked in Venice, and he basically used Krav Maga to dispatch this guy, big guy, attacked him and his wife.
On
the Vaporata, which is kind of like a water taxi.
Yeah.
And he said the training just kicked in. Wow. He did what he needed to do, and he got out of there.
That's good, that confidence, you know.
Yeah.
So straight away he's congratulating you, so that's a good feel-good factor.
Well, let me just say, this is really important, Jeff.
Okay.
There's a couple of examples of people that have used Krav Maga physically, but how many people have used Krav Maga by just evading the potential conflict, and they're using it every day? And, you know, we don't talk about that, but they're just not getting involved.
Wow.
How amazing is that, to have that kind of attitude and mentality that you actually are avoiding getting involved in stuff because you're using awareness.
Well, so say for instance, a teenager comes into your gym, what you just taught me then, straight away, he's thinking, do you know what, my mates, they go out with a couple of knives or such and such, or the negative, they want to do drugs all the time, stuff like that. So therefore, I'm going to just sit off and just get on with my own life and choose my own path.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Exactly. Yeah.
Brilliant. I mean, while we didn't talk about what was going on, because obviously you got to support yourself, what was your occupation?
Well, as I said, when I started out in life, I started as a painter and decorator.
Okay.
Went to London. I got into bricklaying. Went to college. Did advanced craft in bricklaying because I wanted to build the world when I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
Soon found out that it was hard down in them trenches in the winter, putting them bricks in.
Yeah, foundations.
Yeah. And I noticed these guys were turning up at site in the nice clean overalls with the nice vans, putting heating systems in. So we trained as a gas engineer.
That's
it. And became a gas engineer. And through being a gas engineer, I got into chimney sweeping, which is sounds like a bit of a weird thing to do because where's the connection? But your gas fire is fitted to a chimney, and if that chimney gets blocked, it needs to be swept. So I couldn't get a good chimney sweep that was reliable, so I started doing chimney sweeping, which kind of developed into a business in itself. And I was doing more chimney sweeping than I was gas fitting. And I did it for years. I mean,
can I just pick your brains here?
Yeah.
Chimney sweeping, straight away I'm thinking of that, what would they go back to that, bed knobs and broomsticks and they're all in these things.
Yeah.
But it must be easy, just get the pole and then just shoving the thing, is that right? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, what you've just described is how to basically sweep a chimney, but it's quite a complex operation.
Now we're cooking.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people come into the industry.
Yeah.
And as quickly leave the industry because imagine you've got a nice white shag bile carpet with a nice white settee and lovely decor.
I have actually, no, I'm just saying, yeah.
I could just imagine you lying on your shag pile carpet in front of the fire.
Oh, really? Well,
okay. Moving on. So imagine you have those lovely furnishings. Some guy comes in, set of old rods, dirty dust sheet, throws it on the floor, throws the brushes up, all the soot comes down, destroys your house. And then jumps in his old van and disappears. That is why there's a lot of people come into the industry and then disappear because they don't understand the intricacies of sweeping. You have to set the job up correctly. You have to make sure that there's a correct seal. You have to have hep-rated hoovers, which are...
Hep-rated?
Yeah, hep-rated hoovers are basically, the filtration is 99.9%. Filtered so that there's no dust escaping from the hoover.
Asbestos maybe,
Well, they would be the hoover that you'd use for asbestos removal. You know, they are specialised vacuum cleaners. Nowadays there's power sweeping, which is you put it on the end of a drill and you spin the rods up. You've got to understand what chimneys, I mean, I'm in a good position because I'm a bricklayer.
Yeah.
So I understand the construction of a chimney.
Yeah.
You've also got to think about when you're sweeping the chimney, are you going to dislodge anything in the chimney? So imagine you're sweeping that chimney and some bricks start dropping down and block the chimney because you've been so robust in how you're doing it. You've got to feel your way up the chimney.
I like this.
As someone said on the telly one time, what was it? Swiss Tony. You've got to treat a chimney like a beautiful woman. Was it Swiss Tony? Yeah, you've got to treat that flue like a beautiful woman. You've got to be gentle and you've got to be careful. Moving on from the beautiful, you've got to get that rod in there.
Yes.
And you've got to be careful not to dislodge any of the brickwork.
Yeah.
And that takes skill. And that takes experience. So a lot of people enter, a lot of people leave.
But you know what makes me laugh? I didn't realise what you showed me. There's actually festivals around the world with all these chimney sweepers all get together.
There is. Yeah. I've been, part of traditional chimney sweeping for a long time. As long as I've been a gas engineer, which is in excess of 20 years. And my son-in-law Mark, who's since taken over the sweeping business, I've gone over to a place called Santa Maria Maggiore, which is in Italy. Yeah. And there's a yearly festival which is attended by hundreds, if not thousands, of traditional chimney sweeps from around the world. Yeah. So if we said any country you name, maybe not Jamaica because they're getting good weather there, or places where it's very hot, but all the European countries, you name it.
Yeah, industrial Germany.
Yeah, Germany, Poland, Yugoslavia.
Russia.
Is there still a country called Yugoslavia?
I
You renamed it, didn't it? Anyway, you name it. There's hundreds of thousands of chimney sweeps because there's millions of chimneys and they have to be cleaned.
That's brilliant. So, what was that thing about someone using animals? I don't get that. Well, explain that one.
You asked me
How
earlier on where was the origins of it.
The origins of chimney sweeping.
Yeah, I mean, ever since the chimney was made, there's been a need to clean it if it gets blocked. But if we go to the likes of Portugal and Spain and places, back in the day, they used to tie a piece of rope to a chicken's leg and throw the chicken down the chimney, and it'd be flapping and squawking and cleaning the chimney, and then they pull the bloody thing back up again.
That's animal cruelty, but
and it probably then got barbecued, didn't it? You know, so, but that's how they they used to clean chimneys then. But you know, we can go right back to the days of the Second World War.
Okay.
And we had the Chimney Sweeps Union in Germany. Yeah. And they were given their own postcodes. Okay. So it was made a law that you had to have your chimney swept. Yeah. You know, back in the 40s, 30s and 40s and onward. So you'd be given, like, for instance, I live in the 63 area. This is the CH42 area. Let's say the government give me CH42
to clean,
to clean. That would be my round, and you as an owner would have to open the door and let me in to sweep the chimney and pay me.
What happens if you didn't clean the chimney? What's the risks? Why such a law?
The risks of not cleaning the chimney are, if you've got a gas fire, for sure, you could end up with carbon monoxide poisoning. If you're using a solid fuel fire with coals, no smokeless coals. Yeah. Well, it's smokeless. You're not going to see the smoke. You're just going to get the fumes coming back in. You're going to get carbon monoxide poisoning.
Brain damage, death.
Death.
And you don't even know about it.
You don't even know about it. So, yeah, it's an important aspect. Well, I've since sold that business. Okay. I don't sweep anymore. The old days, you know. Yeah. And I've gone back more into the gas side, so I'm installing boilers and servicing now. It's a lot easier.
I just try to imagine, just sort of, with all your experience in martial arts and Krav Maga, you've knocked on someone's door and they're giving you a stick, you know, and you've not walked away, or you're up a chimney, someone's trying to pull his leg. God help them, you know.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
And this is a fact, right? It's only money. Yeah. Don't allow someone to own you for a little bit of money. Just walk away. You know, it's very, very rare that I ever get involved in anything because I really respect my customers and I want to do the best job I can. And I take a pride in what I do. And I want someone to come behind me and go, Tony Preston fitted this. It's amazing. And if you've got that kind of attitude, you generally don't get many problems with customers. If you're trying to argue with a customer, it's a race to the bottom. Your customer's always right, even when they're wrong. When they're wrong, walk away. Don't let anyone own you for the paltry amount of money. It's just not worth it.
So your philosophy of the Krav Maga is coming into your work, which...
Yeah, I want a peaceful life. Yeah. I want happy customers. I want to enjoy my job. I want people to look at my work and go, wow, that's amazing, that. And I want other people to go, yeah, you need to get Tony Preston because his work's amazing. And he's a nice guy.
It's fantastic.
That's the biggest piece of advice for anyone in business I would have, and it's hidden in plain sight, the secret of business. When you've got a problem, go back and sort it out with a smile on your face and help the people enjoy what they paid for. End of story.
Tony, it's been an absolute pleasure. If you enjoyed today's interview, yeah, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell for the uploading videos that are come with all these lovely, interesting, amazing characters. Tony, it's been a pleasure, mate.
It's lovely, Jeff. Thank you.
May your wisdom shine on and help many people. And also look for the links below. We're going to put up about Krav Maga and other activities that Tony will encourage to do. So take care from me and Tony.
Thanks, Jeff.
Bye-bye now.